the thing that has gotten some people like me a little annoyed is that I do see a different level of scrutiny to her, even as compared to the people who have already announced. So, people are asking things like, where is her black agenda? I'm like, she's a candidate. It's not her responsibility to have a black agenda. You put together a black agenda, and then you make sure that you hold up all the candidates to that agenda.
I will disagree.
It's a little bit
I will disagree with that.
Well, if you're going to ask her, why wasn't that asked about Elizabeth Warren?
No, right. But that's also the point. The point there, which is why I also said, look, y'all, if you running and you black, you are not going. See this? You're not going to get the same runway that Obama got, okay? Because the reality is there were things that people wanted of him, but didn't say anything, and now they regret it. And see, I love the people out there who are also saying, "Oh, Roland, you new to this," which is hilarious. Because for all you wannabe just woke your punk asses up on the black agenda, when you've run 3 black newspapers, you understand black agenda. When you've been news director and morning anchor of a black radio station, you understand black agenda. When you're the first editor of BlackAmericaWeb.com, you understand black agenda. When you're the news editor for Savoy Magazine, you kind of understand black agenda. When you produce for major broadcasting cable network, later the Black Family Channel, you get black agenda. And when you had a Sunday morning show on TV One for 4 years and a daily show on TV One for 4 years, you get black agenda. And when you've had 11 different black media experiences, you get black agenda. So for all y'all new ass folks who just sign up for a YouTube channel, y'all are new to this black agenda conversation, because all you got to do is read the resume, and then some of y'all might want to get educated. And now the reason I'm saying it's legitimate to ask those questions, but you also ask those questions of everyone. I will also say the reason she is getting the level of heat that she's getting right now, because she's a serious candidate.
She's right, exactly.
She right now, Senator Kamala Harris right now is a top 3 candidate.
Absolutely.
That's why she's getting that. So again, if she wasn't a serious candidate,
she wouldn't be.
Ain't nobody talking about her.
The thing is this.
Go ahead.
She matched Bernie's first day record from 2016. She's had her
in terms of raising $1.5 million in the first 24 hours.
$1.5 million first 24 hours. The more important thing is her kickoff matches Trump's biggest rally of 2016. Her 20,000 people matches his Alabama rally. So if she comes out the gate
like, Oakland.
And that was in Oakland. And so she coming out the gate like that, she's front runner. She's front runner.
But Roland, can you decode for the black folks what a black agenda really is? Because she laid out plank after plank after plank that disproportionately affect the black community, and people seem like they can't even really hear that. Like when you talk about Medicare for all, when you talk about tax cuts, when you talk about disproportionate sentencing, all of those things directly and disproportionately affect the black community.
Here's why you're having that kind of pushback. And I'm telling you, it is the Obama effect.
Yeah.
The frustration for black people. Oh, also, I'm sorry. When you also written for Ebony and Essence. No, because the reason the reason I'm also saying that, I do recall writing a piece that ran in January of 2009 for Essence, where I said, just because he is elected does not mean that what we want gets done.
Right.
We have to make sure to push him to make it happen. And so, to this whole point about the black agenda, there are some people where the only thing they define as the black agenda is she going to publicly support reparations?
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only thing they talk about. The Obama effect is when Obama kept saying, rising tides lift all boats. That angered a lot of black folks because, on another hand...
But it was true.
No. one is we can debate. But another hand is that he gave previous speeches where he talked about, where he said, I can't do things just for black folks, but then in other speeches, consult the 2012 speech, National Urban League Convention, where he talked about having targeted programs for those most in need. And so for black folks, it's like, well, if that's the case, where's the targeted the unemployment program for those most in need?
Right.
And so when folks say black agenda, again, for all y'all new ass black people, let me take you back to Maynard Jackson. Maynard Jackson had the concept of every African American in America having a business-sized card that can go in any wallet that said these are the black agenda, and so we could ask any black person, anybody running for office, your position on this. So to Avis's point, when you say black agenda, that's really defined by the person who's asking the question. Mm-hmm. So yes, the onus of a black agenda is really upon the organization or the entity or the group asking those questions. So the group that deals with black home ownership, they are going to have very specific questions for Senator Kamala Harris. The groups that deal with criminal justice are going to have very specific conversations. The groups that deal with health are going to have very specific conversations. And so that's what you're going to have there. But for all these other people, yes, who go, where's her black agenda? As I kept saying, for a week in, no politician is going to lay out expansive position papers on different groups. Those things are actually evolved over time. And so usually when you roll a campaign out, you have general themes that are universal themes because you are not talking to individual groups.
But she went out on a limb. She went so far out, she made me a little nervous. I mean, she was very specific about things that affect the African American community in a way, to me, that if she wasn't trying to wrap her arms around it, she could have just left off and saved for when people are pressing her on those issues. So I was thankful that she did that up front.
But folks want to actually hear black. Let's just be real on it. Yeah. They actually want to just hear black. See, I mean,
she did.
She did that yesterday.
No.
Came all the way out.
No, you understand. When I say they want to hear, that's all they want to hear.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you got it's understanding.
Nobody else.
It's understanding what some people are talking about and what they're asking for in this whole deal. And again, I go back to the Obama effect. There are a significant number of people, and let me say this: this is not just Hotep. It's not just ADOS. It's not just black nationalists. It's not just, no. There are a lot of African Americans who are on Capitol Hill, who are black CEOs, who are black small business owners, who are black folks in academia and other areas, who, although you have not heard them publicly go there, they were disappointed in the 8 years of Obama. Mm-hmm. So let's just be real clear, okay? Since we're going to sit here and just be real honest, okay? What you're seeing with Senator Kamala Harris, what you're going to see with Senator Cory Booker, what you potentially will see with former Attorney General Eric Holder, what you would have seen with Governor Deval Patrick, are black folks saying, we screwed up. We were quiet for 8 years. We sat here and mobilized and raised money and knocked on doors because we got hyped about a black president. Mm-hmm. And I long said, and again, feel free to go pull the tape. I said for a long time that black folks were the only ones who were left at the inauguration parade looking like this here. We got a black first family. Now everybody else left. Now I told y'all in the first 60 days, LGBT community gave Obama a 54-page agenda for what they wanted. Black organizations, and don't act like I don't know what I'm talking about because I was there. 5 years after Obama was first elected, gathered at a hotel across the street Washington Hilton, where they assembled to put together their black agenda, and then took 9 months typing it up before we got a copy of it. Don't act like I wasn't there because I was in the room at the news conference. So what you're seeing is, you're seeing folks saying, I need to hear some stuff now before I invest in you over anybody else, because frankly, I screwed up last time.
Yeah, but it's not like they were left empty-handed.
No,
they may have
I know that,
because they didn't get everything they wanted.
But I'm
not going to stand for people acting like in 8 years they didn't end up with the best unemployment rate that we've ever had in the entire history, like of black unemployment rates. It's a little ridiculous. Healthcare. Who do they think that disproportionately affects? Students being able to get their parents' insurance while they're still in college. These are poor people, black people.
Right. But there were
issues.
some fundamental issues. First of all, one of the most chaotic decisions they made came the Parent Plus decision, and when it came down in August of 2012, that led to upwards of 15,000 HBCU students not being able to come back, led to significant funding shortages of those HBCUs that they still are having to deal with. We still saw, before Obama came in, 53% of black wealth wiped out due to the home foreclosure crisis, and his housing programs were not effective. Sean Donovan was a HUD secretary, came on my show, Washington Watch, 3 different times with a new plan. I said, Sean, if you hear what you hear a new plan, that means the previous 2 didn't work, bro.
Right.
And so there were things there that black folks wanted to see. They wanted to see. I remember sitting in the Treasury Department being told that minority firms outperformed white firms with the handling of TARP dollars. And then all of a sudden, I went, well, hell, that means we're going to get more money to manage?
No.
The answer was no. And so there were some legitimate concerns. I just think that this not, I want you to say viciousness, but this really like what you going to do is really a result
I agree with
of
that.
a lot of black folks not doing it with Obama and then being frustrated by saying what happened. I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. Final comment.
Look at the reverse of what's happened with number 45. His base asked him to do stuff, and he does it just for them.
Absolutely.
He could care less about the rest of America. He cares about his base, and they sent him stuff. We don't want you to comment about Congressman King. He didn't comment.
Got it.
We want you to do that, and he does it. So that's 30% of people.
Monique Davis.
I'm still, President Harris 2021. That's what we're probably going to end up with.
Monique?
At the end of the day.
The thing that I would hope that as black folks who ever consider themselves black would understand is it is a big deal, and thank you, Avis, we talked about this via Twitter, that she is running.
Yeah.
You don't get this far with this kind of big splash, with this backing, with this money by accident. And if people can't just take a beat and celebrate that, then we are missing an opportunity to recognize history and herstory. And we really need to get that together.
Davis.
Just finally, obviously it is fair to critique every candidate's record. But it is completely unfair to only look at one side of that record and use that to sort of disqualify her in terms of her blackness or in terms of her ability to be someone who could be an asset for the black community and the nation as a whole. Be fair about what you're doing. Look at the full context of her record before you sit there and try to throw her under the bus.
Well, again, and that's what it is going to require: real, thoughtful examination of record. That's pro, that's con, whatever you actually want to call it. And so that's one of the things that is going to be critically important. So that's one thing that we also are going to do. Look, folks, you just have folks announcing.
Yeah.
Okay? You only have 3 people who've actually announced they're running. Many have said exploratory committee. And so we're going to be using this platform to really go through folks' record and take the time and also not get involved in the BS. I'm not dealing with people's emotions. I'm not dealing with people and their agendas. I'm not dealing with people and all the sexism and the racism. No, the record is the record. And somebody has to be willing to say, this happened, and ask the question, why did this happen? Do you agree with it or not? and we'll see what the answers are.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
As I told you, of course, a lot of us are focused on getting healthy in 2019, and one of the ways we can do that is by doing the cleanse. So the last 20 days, I've been doing the D-Herbs cleanse. Lord have mercy. All raw vegetables, fruits, and nuts. And so hasn't been too bad. I've done it before. And so I ended up losing about 18 pounds total doing it. And for a lot of us, again, we're just for your core. You want to just be healthier. You want to have more energy. And so the folks at D-Herbs, they partner with us. And so what you can do is go to dherbs.com. You can actually use the promo code Roland if you want to do the cleanse. They have 27 different cleanses, and you can do some 10 days, some 20 days, some shorter, some longer. And so also they have it for weight loss, all kind of different cleanses that can help you out. And so we want you, again, use the promo code Roland by going to dherbs.com.
Back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered. You want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it.